The first world I grew up in, which is a world I remember very well, is the time just after the Second World War. I was born in 1943. So my first years were spent in London, playing in bomb sites, seeing soldiers, old soldiers, sitting on the pavement, begging, listening to conversations in my house which were very sad because many people had lost relations, and it was a sad place to grow up in, very sad. There was rationing going on, and everyone knew, all the kids knew that there'd been this great thing called the war. We played in bomb sites. We didn't know what the war was. We knew it concerned some people called the Germans, who I never met. They were our enemies during that war. No longer, thank God. Anyway, I grew up in this strange world, which was really quite sad. And when you're young, as you will discover, you do not forget the first things in your life. They stay with you and stay with you. So when you come to be a writer, as I did later on, a storyteller, that world inhabits your stories quite a bit. I'm both horrified and angry that wars go on. So when I write my stories about war, they're absolutely never, never, never to make war exciting or to glorify it. There are stories really about our longing for peace and our longing for reconciliation. In every story I've written about the war, there is this element of that, because that's what I feel in here, and when you're a writer, you write about what you feel in here. Otherwise, it's not worth writing. So I think almost the first book I wrote was a story my auntie suggested to me. She'd been a teacher just before the Second World War and had evacuated her children down to Devon, where I now live, and taken all her school from Islington, London, all the way down to Devon. And she told me about it, and I was fascinated by this, all these kids getting on trains with gas masks and leaving their parents for the first time in their life and going off from the big city to the countryside. It's a story that has influenced me a lot in my life. I wrote a little book about it called Friend or Foe, but it's not the one I want to talk about now. I want to talk about other books that I've written more recently.